Need the clicker. So, hello everybody. Clock says 7 minutes, so I hope I'll do that rather quickly. I'd like to tell you a little bit about visualization today. We've heard a lot about sound design, we've heard a lot about plain speech, we've heard a lot about how branding works, and what I would like to show you is an example of the work that we did for Tenet in the past 2 years. Tenet 2 years approached us and they wanted a showroom in Berlin, and they wanted a communication concept on how to approach stakeholders in a completely different way. And what will be showing you now is basically a best practice example on how you can visualize things. And by the way, Tenet has won with that concept the Charge Awards last year, so we were very happy with that, and I completely know how you guys feel, the ones that have won it, so we were quite happy. Why is visualization so important, and what makes visualization so important? It's the old saying, a picture is still worth 1,000 words. Technologies have become very, very easy and very, very user-friendly, and we have very new and very modern technologies that you can incorporate in visualization now. You have completely different ways of visualization. And last but not least, especially for people in the energy business or for companies in the energy business, it helps the communication of large infrastructure projects. There has been a great study, or a study over the course of 2 years from 2 German faculties with the title Visualization in Large Infrastructure Projects, with special regard to energy and with special regard to the infrastructure projects that are being built within the German energy transition. And that applies for Tenet, because Tenet is one of the key players in the German energy transition. So I just told you that Tenet approached us a couple of years back with the idea of having a showroom, with the idea of having a completely different approach to the Tenet customers or to the Tenet stakeholders. And Tenet's wish were 3 things. They wanted a showroom that explains Tenet's work in the most modern way. They've heard something about augmented reality and virtual reality, and we need to have that because obviously we're very up to date and we're very sophisticated and we're very much want to incorporate these techniques. They wanted to use state-of-the-art technology, but at the same time they didn't want to be pretentious. So that comes back to what we said before, speaking plain language. What was our approach? We said in order to do that, we need one overall design and we need one overall content theme, because you need something, some thread on which you can tell that story. We wanted to explain complicated things in a very, very simple way, and we wanted to use technology only where it actually made sense, not just because it's there and you can have it or it's sophisticated, but where it actually does make sense. And the content theme, we found that in the German Energiewende. That's the German word for the energy transition, and Germany has become something like of a role model in the energy transition. And alongside that thread, we were able to tell everything that Tenet is doing, because like I said, Tenet is one of the key players in the energy transition. And the design theme, we found our design theme in a common C cable. There's everything we needed in there, was form, material, colors, everything was in there that we basically needed to build that showroom. The showroom was laid out as a mixed reality experience, and if I show you the first slide of the showroom, what it actually looks like, you see where the design comes in, how it actually looks like, and where we adapted everything from the C cable in order to give it a design that is appealing to the eye. If you go through the showroom, the first thing you would encounter is a station number 1, we call it. This is a virtual reality station, and we show you little clips. At the moment we're running a clip that's called the history of the energy transition. I'm not going to show it to you because the clock already says 2 minutes and 47 seconds, so this is an actual peek into the virtual vision, what it looks like. So this is what it would look like if you do a 360-degree film, and if you would put it up on a VR glasses, then that's what the actual virtual vision looks like. But unfortunately, I have to run you through this whole presentation. The next thing you would be encountering is an info point with directed sound. We heard about the importance of sound before. Basically, this is just a touch panel where we show you videos, but the trick is we enhance these videos with a special sound system that comes directly down on you, and that is rather cool because if you're standing in that stream, it's a very unusual sound and makes you listen a little bit better. One thing we're very, very proud of is something that this table here, we use the aspect of gamification with that table. Gamification is a technique where you simplify a very complex matter and you break it down into a game and you have people play this game. In that case, it's the game of power line planning. And when you play this game, all of a sudden you see how hard it actually is to build a power line. We throw in all kinds of obstacles in your way. And you play against time, you play against the acceptance of the people, you play against the environment, or the impact on the environment, and all of a sudden people engage in a discussion, and that's what we want and what we do there. Next thing you see is a video wall. Tenet wanted to have an insight into a control center because people usually cannot go there. So we just installed a large video wall and we put the live data up there. So this is also a cool point because whoever explains what's going on here explains basically how a grid works and gives people an insight into an actual control center. And the data you see here, this is all live data. The next room, if you approach it, you see nothing. You just see these white columns. And then you have to put on those Microsoft HoloLenses. And when you put them on, out of these columns comes, for example, in that case, Halvin Alpha, a converter platform. And you're able to walk around this platform. You can look inside of it. And augmented reality is now a technique that we also use down in the field when we do civil participation. When we directly engage with people, when we want to convey messages where infrastructure buildings are hard to visualize, then you could very easily use augmented reality. Now, this is also a technology that's been widely accepted now. If I give you a quick look on what it looks like, I'm running out of time anyway, so. But this is what it looks like, and you can actually run around and you can actually look inside the station. And the next thing we do, we go one step further. We give you an immersive virtual reality experience. We've constructed a room where we installed base shakers in the ground and a wind system on top. And then you put up these VR glasses, and then we take you on a helicopter flight to Halvin Alpha. This is actually supposed to be moving, but it's not. So we take you on a helicopter flight to Halvin Alpha. Does this run? No? Okay. So you have to stick with the picture. And the good thing is the ground is shaking beneath your feet, and you can actually feel the wind in your hair, and that kind of gives you a very, very immersive experience. The next thing is you go inside, and we've paid a lot of attention to detail in modeling. Which means when you're inside the converter platform, you can actually look at every screw that you see in here. You can walk around. You have a walking radius of maybe 3 to 4 meters, and you can actually see every little detail in there. And that's a very nice technique if you want to show people things that they usually do not see. Nobody usually, now it works. Usually you do not see the inside of a converter platform, but as you can see here, this is the amount of detail that you have when you put up these virtual reality glasses. I'm going to spare you the next few slides because it's all about virtual reality too. This is virtual reality with a 360-degree camera, and you can use that also to take people on actual locations, and this is a completely different experience if they see a natural surrounding in the VR glasses, and you can explain what you're doing a lot better if you engage with them with that technology. And in the end, we take you into 180-degree cinema where we use either animations or real film about Tenet and on a 12-meter long screen, and that should give you a quite impressive ending in that showroom. So I know I ran way out of time. I'm going to skip the last film, so I'll hand this over to the next speaker. If you have any questions, I'll be here on the panel later, and maybe can run you through some other things later. So thank you very much. I hope you liked it.